What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the AEW Unrivaled collection, Hikaru Shida. And so here we have Hikaru Shida posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through her one and only accessory. Hikaru Shida does come with the AEW Women's title, which is a really nice accessory. I do like the way it looks. Other than that, Hikaru Shida doesn't come with anything else. Unfortunately, we don't get a kendo stick with her, which she's known for using a kendo stick. But anyway, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Hikaru Shida. And so here we have a closer look at Hikaru Shida, and I think Jazzware has done an amazing job with this figure. It actually does capture the look and likeness of Hikaru Shida, which I am really happy about. Hikaru Shida is one of my favorite AEW female wrestlers, so really glad that they did do her justice in this figure. The face practically spot on, or you could actually use this for a Lucy Liu custom figure if you really wanted to. But yeah, it looks a lot like Hikaru Shida, and I am really thankful for that. They do have her hair where she did dye the tips purple, although it does look a little bit pink right here. It's just purple at the tip and then transitions to a pink. Here on the back you can see it's purple transitioning into a pink. Really nice attention to detail. And even though this isn't my favorite attire that Hikaru Shida wore, I think it's still a very nice attire for her. So yeah, the face, spot on for what it is. Jazzware has done a really good job of making this look like it's supposed to. Although I feel like maybe her neck might be a little bit too long. It's not that big of an issue, to be quite honest, and you really don't notice it once you're posing her around. So having a look at her attire here, the one major gripe I have about it is her skirt piece. Now, the way they engineered this is that the skirt piece is actually connected to her straps right here, which go all the way to the back. The only problem is they don't really fit the figure all too well. Now, if we can just pop her head off really fast just so we can go over this. You can see they were molded for her body, but it just didn't get executed as well as I think, because this is a softer plastic, and it is a very soft plastic. It is very pliable, which is good. You want that to get out of the way, but at the same time, it doesn't sit right no matter how much you try to force it. Now, you could try to glue it down, but then you lose the articulation. And one thing to note is that it is form-fitted back here to actually match the mold of the hood here. So this is the way it's supposed to be. So if you were to glue it, you would glue it down right here, but then as you can see, this still has a tendency to pop up. So yeah, they made the straps too big, but I think they did that just so it doesn't hinder articulation. But yeah, it is something to note that the straps do in fact look a little bit odd. If we can just put her head back on. So yeah, the straps will always be fighting you with this figure, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it does give us a chance to look at her attire a little bit better. We do have the black band that's underneath right here, along with the purple inside part of her costume. Then we do have the red, which I thought it was a brighter red. I thought the trunks should match the top, and that's always the way I thought about it. But yeah, it does look like they went with two different colors. It could be because this is red paint and this is red plastic, and we all know that red plastic and red paints look very different, especially when you put it on flesh tone colors. She is wearing her armbands, which this attire is inspired by Tifa Lockhart. In case you guys didn't know it, it's her Final Fantasy VII attire, which like I said, it's not my favorite attire. I like the one where she has a slit right here on her hip, but this is still a really cool attire. The armbands are actually nicely sculpted. I do like that it's not just reused from other figures, that they did add all that nice texturing. And then she does have her gloves, which look really nice. They are fingerless, and you can see she does have her nails painted red. So yeah, really do like that. So having a look at the skirt piece itself and not the straps, they did a really good job of painting the buckle right here, although it does look like it should have two clasps. This one only has one, because we can see the studs right here. There's two. I don't know if that's accurate if they intended to sculpt that differently, but yeah, that is something to note on this figure. Then we do have a gold zipper right here, although it's supposed to be gold, it comes out as yellow right here. Yeah, I do like the layering on the skirts right here. It does look really nice, and it does add some detailing to the figure. So moving on to the rest of the figure, her hips seem to be a little bit loose, especially just at this part. You can see it doesn't take much to move the figure around, but once you get the hips in a certain way, that's what I'm talking about. They do seem a little bit loose, as you can see. It's because they're on a barbell joint and it's not seated tightly enough right there, so that's why it is moving around like that. She is wearing her really high stockings, which I'm actually really impressed by the way they did this. Okay, so what we have going on is we have the flesh color right here with the black and red painted, but then we also do have the red painted right here, so that's why the reds actually match, and I really do like when they match colors right here. Her knee pads are separate appliances, and if you really wanted to, you could take them off. I'm not going to, because that's pretty much how she wore them, going all the way down to these wraps right here. And then we have a look at her really interesting shoes. She is wearing tabby socks instead of your traditional wrestling shoes, so she is wearing ninja shoes, although it doesn't really look like ninja shoes. It looks like she's wearing hooves. She's not really wearing hooves. These are supposed to be tabby socks, but yeah, they're sculpted like hooves. And then they did paint the soles like this. It's not really red, it's like a really light burgundy almost. But yeah, I really do like the detailing on Hikaru Shida, and like I said, they did a really fantastic job sculpting her head. If this figure looked terrible, I would not have picked her up. So with that said and done, guys, let's actually get her compared to other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Hikaru Shida posed next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. And finally, here we do have Hikaru Shida posed next to an Unrivaled Collection Jon Moxley and an Unmatched Collection Britt Baker. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Hikaru Shida's articulation. Now, she does sport the standard jazzwear articulation for the women wrestlers, which is a ball joint here at the head. Unfortunately, she doesn't look up all too well because of her hair sculpt. Even though it is soft right here, it's not soft enough at the base right here, so you really don't get any upwards movement. We do get some pretty decent down movement, but her hair will always push her head back up. They made it soft in the places so that you could maneuver it side to side, but not in the places that would allow that hinge to actually be functional. And surprisingly, she does have a little bit of a head tilt there. Arms do go all the way around. They are on a hinge which go up quite a bit, a lot of range right there. We have a bicep swivel, which works perfectly fine. We have a double bend here at the elbow, giving us some really good range. She does have a hinge in the wrist, which does go back and forward as well as rotates. Then we do have a ball joint here at the torso, which does pivot forward to about right there, pivots back to about right there, to the side, to the other side, as well as rotates. So pretty decent range there. Then we do have rotation here at the waist, although it is a little bit hard to get to just because of the skirt piece. You're mainly going to be using the upper torso for swivel and just the lower swivel for adjustment posing. So her hips, like I said, they are a little bit loose, but once you get them to a certain point, you don't really notice it. So her legs only go out to about right there. You have to actually rotate her leg to like that, and then rotate the thigh just to give her a full front kick, which is a little bit unfortunate. Jazzware hasn't figured out how to do the hips, which is unfortunate for these figures because they look really nice. Going out to the side, no problem. Even though she does have the skirt piece, it does get out of the way. It does rotate here at the thigh, double bend here at the knee, and as you can see, the knee pad wants to come off, which it almost did. You can just adjust that as needed to. So yeah, really good range right there. No swivel here at the foot. That would have been a really nice swivel point for her ankle, but no, from the shin down we don't get any type of swivel, which is a little bit unfortunate. But she does have a hinge in the foot which goes back and forward, and of course forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, Hikaru Shida has some pretty good articulation, and I do like what they did here. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And And so here we have the AEW Unrivaled collection Hikaru Shida pose for my final thoughts. And overall, I think Jazzware has done an amazing job with Hikaru Shida here. We have seen some really terrible female figures such as Brandy Rhodes and Riho. I don't even want to get into Riho. I never picked that figure up because of how bad it looked. They seem to have rectified all their problems with this figure. This is a really nice figure, and it shows that Jazzwares can do amazing things when they put the time and effort into it, especially for the female figures. Hikaru Shida here has some really good articulation. Even though I am a little bit annoyed by the skirt piece and the straps, it is accurate to her costume. I just wish that it was a little more form-fitting, that way you didn't have to fight it so often. And I do like the fact that she does come with the AEW Women's title. I know it did come with Riho, but like I said, I did pass on that figure because seeing it in stores, I just couldn't justify buying it. Hikaru Shida here, I could justify buying now. It was a little bit hard to come by Hikaru Shida. I actually picked mine up for $20 at GameStop. The tag on the box said $20, but they did try to charge $25. When I pointed out the tag, they honored the $20 price tag, which I think that's a pretty fair price for AEW figures. I really don't see these figures more than $20, to be quite honest. Hikaru Shida here, though, has a lot of detailing. I think the $20 more than justifies the price. If you are able to find Hikaru Shida for a pretty good price, I really do recommend you pick her up, especially if you're an AEW fan or a fan of Hikaru Shida. You're really gonna love this figure. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other AEW reviews. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you'd like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.